Good afternoon, friends. Today I am videoing in Big Sky, working on some Hanukkah events. Look at the snow in the background. I want to share with you an incredible thing I read that the Rebbe shared at a Bris in the spring of 1942. It was the Bris of Reb Shlomo Zalman Hecht, who was the previous Rebbe's Shliach to Chicago. His son had a Bris, and the Rebbe spoke and wrote notes of what he was going to speak about at that bris, and he wrote as follows. In Parshas Lech Lecha, on our Parsha, when we talk about the first mitzvah commanded to the Jew, was Bris Milah. Avraham Avinu was commanded to give himself a bris, and his son Yitzchak had a bris at 8 days. And from here we have this incredible mitzvah that every 8-day-old boy, Jewish boy, should be circumcised. And there's 4 things about a bris that are so fundamental as it relates to bris, but also teach us those same fundamentals as it relates to every other mitzvah. Number 1, the bris has a physical impact. It affects the body physically, right? You have an imprint. You have a part of the body that's affected by the circumcision. So too with every other mitzvah, there is a physical effect on the person's body, on the well-being of the body, even if we may not see it. Number 2, the reward, the physical, materialistic reward of doing a mitzvah is great, of doing a bris is great, but the spiritual reward is a lot better. In other words, we know that there's physical benefits from having a circumcision, so there are physical benefits, but the spiritual is way more. So too with every other mitzvah. There may be some physical benefits, there may be some incredible materialistic blessings from doing a mitzvah, but the ultimate blessing, which is much greater, are the spiritual benefits that we get as a result. Number 3, a bris, the baby cries because the baby does not understand what's transpiring. It hurts, but they don't know why it hurts, and so they're crying. And yet it's super rewarding. So too with every mitzvah. There are burdens, there are challenges, there are things that we don't fully comprehend in the process of doing a mitzvah, so it feels overwhelming, and sometimes we wonder, why did God want us to do it? And if, just like a baby, if we only understood the greatness that was transpiring, we wouldn't be crying, we wouldn't be kvetching about the challenges, because the reward is so great. And number 4, it says in the Gemara in Shabbos that the mitzvah of a bris milah should be done b'simcha, and sometimes you have to even do it with mesiras nefesh, with a total act of self-sacrifice. So too with every mitzvah. It needs to be done with joy. And I'll say what I've said so many times, and I get flack for it sometimes, and I'll say it again. Yiddishkeit is a joyous activity, and if it's not joyous, something is wrong in the Yiddishkeit that you are being administered. So it needs to be with simcha like a bris, and sometimes, if needed, also with mesiras nefesh. Take a look, the fire is burning. It's a brisk 30 degrees outside. Look at the mountains, the skiing, the snow. Zai gesund, we'll see you back here soon.